small things that'll make my day better are naps. Always a good nap. It'll always usually put you in the right mindset when you wake up from a lovely nap. If I don't want a nap, usually I'll just make a cup of tea. I'll have some fruit, something sweet. And you can never go wrong with reading a psalm. If you're having a bad day, reading a psalm or a proverb, something that will just lift you up. Usually takes like 5 minutes, and usually I'll walk away always just feeling a lot better. So
definitely being able to get everything done on my to-do list, like cooking, cleaning. I am an organized, Asianal, trying to be person, and I really like structure and routine. So being able to fulfill my duties as a wife and as a homemaker makes me very happy at the end of the day.
I am very easily entertained, I will say that. I am usually the one laughing at the corny jokes in the group. That's me. So people appreciate me if they're corny joke tellers. But I love rainbows. I like take a picture of every single rainbow I ever see. I love seeing people smiling. When I see people smiling, it makes me very happy. I love wildflowers and beautiful mountain settings. I live in Florida, so I really appreciate the mountains. I love the smell of fresh baked bread, and I really love sunsets and stargazing, and my husband does too, so we are often outside looking at the sunset. We're the weird neighbors, you know, like just standing outside staring at clouds and things. But I really love sunsets, and I love staying out late at night in the backyard and like just like looking at the stars, and I don't know, it's just mesmerizing. It makes you feel so small, and you can see how big Elohim is.
Ooh. I would say my birthday, but I think that now my favorite day has changed to May 5th, the day I was baptized, because that started this whole journey for me.
Oh, best single day on the calendar. Well, obviously Saturdays for the Sabbath. It's just a great day to relax, spend some time with the Lord, and just enjoy time with your friends and family.
I'm sure this will change over time, but more recently I really have come to appreciate Passover. We celebrated Passover for the first time this last year, so this coming year will be our second time, and it was just this very memorable occasion, and I am very excited to celebrate it again. It was a lot of fun and very meaningful. Maybe it's because it was kind of one of the first feasts that we really started observing. Kind of just captured my heart.
So, I have recently formed an opinion about roly-polies. Some people call them potato bugs, some people call them pill bugs. I don't know what else people call them. There's all kinds of crazy names out there for them. But they come out at night and they eat all my lettuce in my garden. And I am not okay with it. I thought they were super cute and friendly little bugs, but it turns out that if you have like over 100 of them in a pallet garden, your lettuce will be gone the next morning when you wake up. So I am not a fan of roly-polies any longer.
That honestly, it doesn't matter what everybody else says around you. As long as you are going down a path that the Lord wants you to, and you find this out through prayer and study and just waiting for His voice to respond back to you, it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying or their concerns, considering what you're doing, as long as you are doing it in the walk that Yeshua wants you to go down.
I have recently formed an opinion about something that's very heavy, and so I won't go into the whole thing, but I will point you to a video that will tell you more. I have formed an opinion that we are Israel, and that has really changed my perspective on a lot of things. And so you'll have to check out more. I'm going to plug my husband's channel, sorry y'all. But there's a video on his channel that's it goes into depth on this, and it's called A Call to the Lost Tribes. So it's on Christian Truthers YouTube channel. You can check more out there.
The furthest I've ever been from home was San Diego, California for my brother's graduation from boot camp in the Marines.
Definitely Page, Arizona. We went for spring break 2 years ago, and it was so much fun.
I actually had to Google this because I wasn't sure. I consider home to be here on the east coast of Florida. And I lived in Honolulu, so I knew that was pretty far. But it turns out that Frankfurt, Germany, which Justin and I went there. I was on a work trip, actually. And that was 300 miles further away from where we are now compared to Hawaii. So Frankfurt, Germany wins.
Some of the music that's come out these days, I don't know about it. I don't know about it. You can't understand a lot of the words that they say. Like, I'm young. I used to listen to rap and all kinds of stuff, but like now it's just got weird. It got weird real quick. And some of the slang terms that people like have come up with, I don't understand the way some people talk. Like, I get a lot of young people that come into the coffee shop, and they're young people, they're my age, but they'll like be saying things, and I'm like, what are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying. Like, I don't know. Some of the things people say that's like slang, I don't understand it.
Definitely buying brand new vehicles every time they come out.
There's a lot. Pretty much anything secular. And like Netflix and TV and radio and all that, like some fashion stuff, and yeah, there's a lot.
I have a bike. I have a very cute bike in my garage, and I also live right next to a hiking trail, and I always wanted to be that like athletic person that like got up super early to like ride my bike or go hike on some trails, but I never really got around to it. I'll still keep that dream that maybe one day I'll be that person, but as of right now it hasn't happened.
I really want to try a dessert bread, like a monkey bread or pumpkin bread, cinnamon roll bread. It's definitely on my list of recipes to try out. I just have not gotten around to it.
So I bought this apple cider vinegar because I hear that it's good to drink in the mornings. It's still sitting on my counter after like 2 weeks because I've been like thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this like healthy thing and drink this in the mornings, and I'm just scared of it. And then I've been staring at it every morning. I'm like, not today. So hopefully I'll get around to it at some point.
The most amazing thing Yah has done is he has gotten my family, me, my mom, and my brothers, through a lot. We've been through some hard times, and he walked us through, and he kept us strong, and he kept us together, and he's led us to where we are today, so I can only be grateful for that.
Definitely just bringing me out of the muck and the slime of a life that I was living before.
The most amazing thing, that's so hard to answer, there's so many amazing things, but I think I will say that the fact that he gave me my husband and who he is has really been kind of a foundation in a lot of ways, because he helped me grow so much, and I feel like I would never be where I am today without him and his influence on me and my life. And I really feel like he kind of like scooped in, like came in on a white horse and scooped me out of the darkness. And you know, the Spirit was working through him, and I feel like he helped to save my life. Yeshua used him to help save my life, and I'm forever grateful. So whenever we're having the like I love you more games, you know, I always win.
Well, I have actually done my testimony on my brother's channel, The Narrow Road, so if you want to watch that, you can go check it out. And I would call mine a father to the fatherless, because that's what I did call mine. because that's really just the definition of my life. He has been my father when I didn't grow up with one, so.
An aggressive woman that turned into a somewhat graceful woman.
Okay. Well, I have a testimony out there, and it's actually on Christian Truthers channel, and it's called Now I Party for Jesus. I used to be a party girl, but that was about a year ago that I titled that. So now I'm thinking more on it. If I could have like a longer title, it would be The Selfish, Stubborn, Wannabe Cool Girl Who Ya Never Stopped Loving. So that's that.
Something I really had to unlearn or relearn is that the fear of the Lord matters, and that yes, he's a God of love, but he's also a God of righteous judgment, and that fearing him, having a reverent fear of him, very high respect for him and his justice, is something that I wasn't taught, and something I had to unlearn the fact that he has anger. Like, I was taught that God would never be angry. You know, that was only in the Old Testament he was angry and all that kind of stuff. But, like, no, if we're willfully sinning and we are transgressing against the law, that is sin. And we should have a fear of the Lord, but we should also love him and have a love for his ways, which I was never really taught. So that's something I definitely had to learn, unlearn, relearn.
Definitely coming to the understanding that everything that was taught in church wasn't necessarily correct, or that the church never left anything out. There's plenty of things now that I've realized that have been left out, things that have never been brought to my attention before, and this does not go for all churches. It's just from what I've seen and from what I've experienced.
There were a lot of things I had to unlearn. I've kind of shared a little bit of that with you guys. Another big thing I had to unlearn was just modern fashion. I had a lot to grow in there, I'll just say that.
What website do you visit most YouTube.
I am not a huge website person. I guess the closest thing would be a social media platform, which is primarily YouTube.
YouTube.
So I wouldn't call it a talent. It's just something that I like to do. I like to paint, and my brother is a good artist, my mom's a good artist, and I just discovered that I like to paint. And I like to paint biblical things, so that's really fun. Also, a hidden talent that I've discovered is that I like to cook, and my mom, I guess, is the only one that's really tried my cooking. I guess Ronnie has too, and my brother, but mainly it's Mom that has to eat it all the time because I'm like the cook in the house now a lot. So I like to cook, but I'm like one of those people that puts a bunch of vegetables and stuff together and just mixes it all up and hopes for the best. But usually it turns out edible, so that's good. I would say something, I'm not necessarily embarrassed of it, but when I tell people that I'm good at doing this, sometimes I'll get kind of like a look. I'm really good at creating dreadlocks on other people because there's a lot of misconceptions about dreadlocks, but it's actually a process to like making them and making them look nice. Some people might not think they look nice, but there's a process of taking care of them if you want them to look nice and not like all ratty and crazy. I'm good at creating dreadlocks. It's a technique and it's a skill, and it takes hours to do on somebody's hair, and people have actually had me give them dreadlocks in the past, and so that's something I'm good about. Maybe in the future I can talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, I guess that's something that I'm good at, and it's kind of weird to be good at, but it's a skill that I have, so.
I wouldn't say that I am a super talented person, but something that I do enjoy doing that people have complimented me on is just decorating, color combining, and palette making. I've made a couple different color palettes for a couple different things and projects, something that I really enjoy and people seem to enjoy also.
So my hidden talent is that I can say all of the states in alphabetical order at hyperspeed, which I'm not going to do right now, but I can do it. If any of y'all know the 50 Nifty United States song, I memorized that when I was a kid, and I like practiced saying it like ridiculously fast. Justin timed me once, and I think I had it under like 45 seconds or something, so I guess that's my hidden talent. It's not very exciting.
Monty. So currently right now for my comp class in school, I am writing about the Apocrypha books and how the law, the teaching of how important God's instructions are, has been removed throughout church history. And so I hope to have a more solid knowledge of that. I really want to get knowledgeable about that.
To really dive into the world of couponing and just creating more of a budget-friendly grocery list.
I recently have become very interested in learning more about the historical biblical sites, like geographically. So I hope that we can eventually take a trip to Israel and get to see, smell, touch, and taste everything, you know, like I would love to be there and just see it with my own eyes.
Someone that inspires me to be better is my mom, because she's really been strong through a lot of things that we've gone through throughout life. So
definitely my husband.
My husband, for sure. He has helped me in so many ways, and has just been so patient along the way as well. And my kids, it's actually surprising too how much a 4-year-old can teach you. So the kids inspire me to be better as well.
Something I really thought that I would grow out of but never did was biting my nails, and I'm still working on it. It's a mindless habit, like I'll just be biting my nails and not realize it. So I'm still working on that. Never grew out of it.
Definitely being claustrophobic. I am a super claustrophobic person. I can't handle a lot of things like around my neck or just being smothered by a lot of like blankets or pillows. I will literally freak out.
I cannot have Oreos in my house because I thought that I would grow out of like eating way too many of them, and I didn't. So they're so good with milk. They're delicious.
Honestly, what I spend a lot of my time thinking about is the Lord. He's always in the back of my mind. I used to think about a lot of other things and what's my goal for this and that. But really, what I'm always thinking about is how can I find peace in this certain situation I'm in, and what can I learn from it, and what is the Lord trying to show me?
Honestly, I think a lot about just how I can be a better wife, a better homemaker, and being able to fill my days better so I can glorify the Lord.
I drive a lot, and so I have a lot of time to think. And usually if I'm not doing anything else, I'm thinking about the goodness of our Father and just how good He is to us and how amazing He is, and just looking out and, you know, even when you're driving on the highway, just like looking at the sky and looking at the trees and looking at everything He's created, and it's just overwhelming. And I just think of Him and everything He's done for us and how much He loves us.
Something I know that I will never experience ever again is a bacon and egg sandwich.
Definitely going to Antarctica. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but I really doubt it's ever going to happen.
What is something you're certain that you'll never experience? Going to outer space?
I'll be honest, I can never really finish a book. I have a few times in my life, And I mean, as far as like reading the word, that's a whole other thing. But like if I'm given like a book to read, I will read the majority of it and not really finish it. I don't know why, they just get boring to me. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not really a big reader anymore. I used to be. I can sit and read the word though. It's like, that's fine, but reading other books, I can't finish them. I don't know.
Definitely laundry. I will do any other household chore, but laundry is not my favorite at all. So it'll just pile up and pile up and pile up until one day I just get so sick and tired of looking at it, and then I will finally sort of do it.
I knew this answer right away. It's the laundry.